National Chung Hsing University discovered that the number of students from low-income families has grown drastically from the past 10 years. That's why it set up a charitable fund that has helped more than 100 students complete their college education without worrying about their lives.
Du Yajie, an alumnus of Chung Hsing University's forestry graduate program, is holding a camera and looking out into the woods. When Du was at university, her whole family relied on her mother's salary as a janitor. In order to help out with expenses, Du would work up to 13 hours a day at side jobs. There was no way she could do this and also stay on top of her studies.
他说我们都没有念过大学，然后希望你可以好好的念完书，你可以过得比他们更好，这样子。
She couldn't spend more than 22 NT dollars on a meal, and if she stopped working on the side, she wouldn't be able to keep studying. Fortunately, the university was providing once-a-semester scholarships of 60,000 NT dollars at the time. Du still gets choked up thinking about this scholarship so many years later.
不知道你下一步要怎么走，甚至你连思考说，我这个礼拜可以吃什么，那都会是成为一种压力。学校决定支援我一笔钱，当时那一笔钱对我来说是非常大，完成我的学业。然后我相信它让我成为一个更稳定也更好的人。
Zhang Yonghua is a first-year graduate student who has also received support from Chung Hsing University's charitable fund. His mother is unemployed and his father receives disability benefit. He comes from a low-income household, but he hasn't given up, and he studied all the way to graduate school.
家里面的环境都已经不是这么好了，那你是不是应该自己就是在告诉自己说，我其实可以帮家里面，就是让家里面有好转的机会，这样自己必须要有那一份上进心吧。
National Chung Hsing University has given support to 135 students over the past 10 years. A new plan begun this year has even lowered the barriers to entry for poor students with stipends for living expenses so that they can study without worrying. But the school has discovered that the number of people living in low-income households has grown since 2011. The number grew tenfold after 2013, and in 2014, the number of households registering as poor broke 300.
因为财力状况家境不好，所以他必须靠打工。那打工的结果就会让他在学习效果遭受到很大的影响。这一块的学生，我们也要给予特别的照顾，希望他们可以透过教育来翻转人生。
With the economy in a bad state, how many children from poor families have lost their chance at success before even getting to university because they don't have the money for an education? The only way to reverse the growing wealth gap is by giving these students a fair starting point from which they can compete.
How can you narrow the wealth gap? 3 years ago, civic groups in Kaohsiung's indigenous villages set up a social enterprise called 2021, which links local green plum farmers into the supply chain through contracts, raising the plums' purchase prices. Indigenous women make a variety of products with the produce, generating income and creating jobs.
These pickled green plums have been sent off to dry under the sun. When the weather is bad, the farmers have to put out a canvas covering to keep the pickled plums from getting wet. Farmers here didn't used to pickle their plums, but 2021 has taught them how to add value to their produce through basic processing like this.
这东西原本就是属于这边的。如果说你今天不经营这个东西，这东西以后就没办法传承。
Mr. Hu is an indigenous man from Kaohsiung's Taoyuan district. It was only 3 years ago, after he learned about 2021 and became a contract farmer for them, that he had a chance to go back home. He now produces at least 10,000 metric tons of green plums every year. If he builds a pickling room, he'll be able to dry his plums regardless of the weather, and his production could increase substantially.
这个地区有很严重的产业失衡的问题，那绝对不是盖好永久屋就可以解决的。所以基于这个想法，我一直想在这边把经济、把产业把它振兴起来。
One group of young people who have spent a long time working to rebuild joined up with civic groups and formed the social enterprise 2021. They've made the green plums that grow in such abundance here the core of their push for the local economy. They cooperate with poor plum farmers in mountainous areas and teach them how to do the first steps of salt pickling. When 2021 buys these pickles, they can give the money directly to the farmers, and they don't need to spend money on having someone else pickle the plums. This gives the farmers an income of at least 3 times market price. 2021 has also set up a cooperative farm and hired local indigenous women to help with the pickling.
赚的钱每年有35%要分给员工，好，35%拿去做公益，然后剩下才是给 股东，不是只是卖农产品，而是希望把整个商业机制在每一块环节都能够帮助到被帮助的人。
45-year-old Hu Guimei is a worker on a farm. Since joining 2021, though, she's finally got a stable income, and she now works as a manager in the enterprise.
帮助我们上面的族人，也帮助我们上面的美农，也帮助我们在这边生存的这些年轻人，带动他们有工作，然后提升我们的经济。
They hope this will build up the economy in this mountainous area, but the environment often limits the feasibility of this kind of creative plan.
莫拉克风灾之后，其实我们原乡，尤其是纳马夏跟桃园是地质上都蛮脆弱的，所以我们每次在汛期期间呢，就会遇到道路暂时中断的一些困难。
The Kaohsiung city government believes there are many factors that will determine the success or failure of plans to lift indigenous people out of poverty. But transportation is the most important of these, because transport will affect efforts to promote both agriculture and tourism. Transport links may still have to be improved in order to flip over the economic fortunes of local residents.